bet none of you can guess what he was doing.
I can't even guess.
Drinking vodka.
You might not be surprised to find out he was putting a second story on a house that was not designed to have a second story on it. But that
Didn't stop her.
is just who Gordon is. Everyone else looks at something really cool and goes, wow, that's cool. And Gordon looks at something and goes, that's really cool. How can I make it better? And he's done this as long as I can. When I was a little kid, later in the 70s, and skateboards first came out, I said, I want a skateboard. I want a new skateboard. We were both new at this stepdad thing. And he says to me, I'll make you one. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is how it's going to be. Of course, he comes out with a skateboard that is in the shape of a jet boat, 2 colors, has my picture, address, name, blue metal flake on it. I have it to this day. And everything was like that. Everything, you know, people always have a junk motor scooter or motorcycle or go-kart in the garage, does not run. Everything of mine ran. It ran great. And it had things on it that no Chinese engineer ever even thought of developing. And even school was tricky because you try going to school when they're trying to teach you the new math, which is today's Common Core, I would guess. So I come home, and math was never my favorite subject. And this guy's a tough act to follow, let me tell you. Early on, I decided I'm not even going to bother trying to reach the heights he did. But I brought home my math homework one time in high school, actually it was. And I'd done all these problems, I had all these problems to do, and Gordon's helped me with my homework and showed me how to do all this long division, multiplication, algebra stuff, and did the whole page, and I brought it back to school, and the teacher gave me every single one wrong.
Right.
And I went and I said, what are you talking about? And he said, well, all your answers are right, but that's not how we do it now. So I brought it back home to Gordon and I said, you're wrong. They're all wrong. And he said, you go tell that teacher that I know more about math than he does. And he was right. He did. Because in no time, Common Core or new math was out the window and done, and they were back to doing it the right way. And I mean, Gordon has been an inventor his whole life. He's invented locks that you can open with combinations that look just like your door lock out there, because me and my sister lost our keys to the house. He invented an electric car way before everyone else was. In fact, my 6th grade show and tell was Gordon driving down the street in this electric car he made with 18 or 8 batteries and a motor and a Spitfire body on it. That was my show and tell. He invented. Yeah, he invented the Polar 3, the robotics engine, robotic arm that launched his whole company that he was able to retire with, and everything else. Most importantly, he was a great dad when I didn't have one. I don't think Gordon is 80 years old. I think of him in the vernacular of video games. He's level 80, because that sounds way more badass. That's who he is. The song says, I'll be proud if I can be half the dad that this guy didn't have to be to me. That risk sounded like a Bud Light commercial. I love you, man.